But then let's go. So you said something that reminded me though. Then there's the whole. We use 8% of our brain. Okay. Right.
That's crazy.
And everybody talks about like, what the fuck's in that other 92%? Well, we don't talk about it at all, ever. Yeah. But like when I was younger, we dabbled in psychedelics and things like that. And a lot of the belief was that's opening up these other parts of your brain. And that's why you have these...
Yeah, exactly.
These visions and you see things and you remember things that you... Right, so you're tapping in.
Yeah.
What if we learn what 20% more of our brain is and it could change everything.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Right.
And then, I like the point that that dude made where, like, even humans do it, where they have repeated acts every day just upon of whatever they're hypnotized off of, like a newspaper article, and they just see it every day, and it's programming them to say that.
Repeat it.
Well, if you think of animals, though, so I've always thought of this, ever since I was young. If you think of, like, deers or tigers or whatever, they have repeated acts. Every single one of them do the same thing. Dogs... They all
that core operating system.
Exactly.
Their core
and you can
operating
see it. Yes. They all have to sniff at one thing when they hear something. They all have to like sniff down and go up at the same rhythm. They all have this same repetitive system in their brain that is wired to do the same thing. They have to bark when they hear something. A deer they have to look around and be like, it's all repetitive.
But then wouldn't you say they're also all individual? Like, have you ever met two dogs that are the same?
That's the weird part.
Okay, so then is it back to that, and I say the word operating system, but is it back to that core, this is how you live? Again, you don't have to tell your body to breathe. You don't have to tell your body to heal colds. So that's in there.
Yeah.
So when we say it's our DNA, whatever that is, that core operating system. But then you look at like a deer or a cow or a dog, and you see life and feeling in their eyes.
You see it.
And you look at a snake, and you don't.
Yes, you don't.
Okay, you don't feel that life. Where you can look at a cow and see it.
Yeah,
like you can see that there's life and thought in that eye.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it. You can see by how they act, how they treat their children.
Yeah, that's about energy. Like you can take their energy and empathize.
So what if when we open up our brain, you can communicate that energy without talking?
Yeah.
What if you can shoot that energy? What if you can feel that energy at a level that we're just not used to now? So now are we in a simulation, or now we some super being?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, and I think what gets lost in science, religion, and the simulation theory, all of philosophy, all of it is we don't use 90% of our brain. So if our operating, it's kind of like the Earth and the universe. We don't even know what's in our own ocean.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, Kepler B22 might have human life. Well, hold on. We don't even know. We don't even understand how our own Earth works.
I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about that. He says we can use 8% of our brain at a time. So it's not like we don't know what the other 90 does. He's saying
I've heard that. Yeah. And me personally, I reject that.
Right. I don't think that
we ain't touch. Dude, if you can't, there's too many things that happen, I believe.
Yeah.
That are inexplicable from a human itself. Right? But have we ever done that test on a dog? Do they use 8% of their brain? Or do they use 100? Like, I've never heard. And how do you
know
that?
They use like 4 or something like that. They can use
we know that? So can they communicate?
Yeah,
if they use 50% of their brain and we do, maybe they don't even have to change their brain, but our brain's so powerful that when we figure it out, I know what he's saying when he's barking instead of just hearing a bark.
Yeah.
Like, can I move myself? Can I move matter? Am I a Jedi?
Yeah.
What? Right? So there's all these gaps that need to be explained.
Tupadu.